Hi, Caleb with Brownells here, and today is the first video where we're going to be talking about painting guns with AlumaHyde II. And we're going to go through everything you need to know, all the stuff you need, surface preparation, common mistakes, just everything. And then by the end of this, we're going to be painting a complete rifle. And then as a kind of an add-on in later videos, we're going to also be doing some camo patterns as well. All right, so let's just jump right into it. What is AlumaHyde II? So AlumaHyde II is an epoxy ester, whereas most of your other rattle can finishes, they're like an acrylic enamel, one or the other, combination of the two, whatever. But the actual AlumaHyde II itself, an epoxy ester. So what that means is it's a polymer base, and the whole thing it's an inhibitor. So an epoxy ester is designed as a rust inhibitor. They're made to go on steel or pretty much any metal, but they also work good on polymers. You can apply them to a polymer to change the color of it. Obviously polymer is not going to rust, so you're just doing that to change the color, but you can use it on pretty much anything. The point I'm trying to make here is this is the most durable thing you can get in a rattle can that is an air cured finish. The stuff's amazing. The Krylon stuff doesn't even come close. Now, we need to determine if this paint job is actually right for you. So, you see a lot of guys out there on the internets, the Facebook groups, whatever, they're rattle canning their guns, and they don't really care if they get worn or that paint starts coming off. They kind of want that battle-worn finish. And you can absolutely do a battle-worn finish with this, but what this is something way more durable. So what we're going to need to do is completely disassemble our firearm. We're going to need to prep the surface correctly. Then we're going to need to spray this on there. This isn't something you can, but this isn't something that was designed for you to just lay your complete rifle on the ground, spray it up, let it, sit for a few minutes, and then you're good to go. No, this is something a little bit more involved in that, but the end result is something way more durable. All right, so with that being said, let's go through, the stuff we're going to be using here to actually get our guns painted. All right, so obviously we have our AlumaHyde II. Now let's go through the PPE. I have this sweet leather apron that I've had forever. Gunsmithing this thing for a really long time. I'm talking way too much about the apron. Point is, you'll need an apron. All right, or you should have an apron because I pay money for my clothes. I'm just kidding. Brownells bought this shirt. You get what I'm trying to say. All right, we got some paper towels here. These are just your regular shop towels for cleaning up any spills, like when I get paint on my apron. All right. We have the most important thing we're going to whip out here is a respirator. Yes, you do need a respirator. I don't care if you're painting outside, there's a nice cool breeze blowing through, you don't think you're going to breathe any of this stuff in. Doesn't matter if you're, Heisenberg and you got like the best ventilation system in your meth lab. You still need a respirator, all right? Like I said, this epoxy ester is a polymer base. That stuff gets in your lungs, it will mess you up. So, we're a respirator. The filters we have on here are the 3M 6001s with the particulate filters. This is the best way to go. All right, we got some nitrile exam gloves. Just any gloves are fine. If you're allergic to whatever material, use whatever the alternative is. I don't know. That's not me, but I know that's a thing. So just protect your hands. All right, reaching back into the magic box. All right, we have just an empty spray bottle. I'll show you what this is for shortly. All right, another really important thing here, these are the AlumaHyde II clean out nozzles. So I'll get into why you really need these in a bit here, but grab a couple of these, they'll last you forever. But if you're going to be spraying AlumaHyde, you definitely should have at least one of these. All right, we have black iron wire. This is going to be used for hanging parts. You'll see why this stuff is the best out of any other stuff here shortly when we get into it. All right, as our degreaser for prepping our parts, we are using acetone. All right, don't use your whatever carburetor cleaner, different stuff like that, gun scrubber. Don't use any of that stuff. Even though that stuff says it doesn't leave a film, there's still something in it that's just doesn't do good with spray-on finishes. Same reason you wouldn't use that before you Cerakote is the same reason you wouldn't use that before you AlumaHyde. All right, acetone is the way to go. There you have it. All right, we also have some Brownells AlumaHyde solvents and thinner. So we are going to be keeping this around to clean up any major spills or anything like that we have. Like whenever I accidentally just spray a huge streak across my apron, we'll just wipe it off with this and some shop towels. All right, so the last thing we have here is this, or second to last thing, is this empty bin. We're just going to be using this to hold stuff. We're also going to be using it to catch solvents as we clean. And yeah, so just any bin will do. All right, and then the last thing is this spray booth. So this is a spray booth that's hooked up to our exhaust fan, and this is what we're going to be spraying in. It's going to be pulling all the stuff out. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I think I got everything. If not, I'll whip something out of thin air along the way and pretend like I mentioned it before. All right, so with all that being said, that's all the stuff we're going to need to get started. Some of it's optional, like that, the AlumaHyde solvent thinner. We don't really need that. We have that just in case. Okay, so let's talk about some of the common issues. Did I say iPro? We're also going to need iPro. I feel like that was kind of obvious, but it's there. All right, let me rewind a bit. Let's talk about some of the common issues you might run into when you're spraying AlumaHyde II. Now, we did a video on this all on its own because we see it all the time. All right. So the biggest thing with AlumaHyde II is because it's not like your normal rattle can. You have to shake this. You have to shake it like an Outkast song. Just shake the heck out of it. All right. And whenever you think you're done shaking it and it's nice and shook up, you probably need to shake it a little bit more, because especially on your matte colors, this stuff just takes a lot longer to mix, longer than your rattle can. So shake it there. You hear the ball rattling. So what I usually do is I'll hand it off to one of my kids that's helping me and just be like, run around with this for 10 minutes, and then they bring it back to me and I'm good to go. No, I'm just kidding. Don't hand this to your kids unsupervised. All right. Point I'm trying to make there is shake it, because if you don't, and I have a good example here. This is a magazine that I painted and I didn't shake the can good enough. And you can see it has almost like a reptile scale texture. That's obviously not how this thing is supposed to look. So that is a result of not shaking it well enough. Also, if you don't shake it well enough, your matte colors have, what makes a matte color matte is talc. And that talc will clump up and it can clog your pickup tube. Your pickup tube is basically just a tube that runs all the way down the can, picks up from the bottom and sprays it out, right? And that's what these clean out nozzles are for, because inevitably at some point you will run into a clog in your pickup tube. If you spray this enough, it's just unavoidable. Whenever that happens, you just throw your clean out nozzle on there, give it a quick spray, and then you're good to go. Put your regular nozzle back on and keep going. But yeah, so shaking it can help minimize that risk. It won't eliminate it completely, unfortunately. It's just the nature of the beast, but that'll definitely help you out. All right, another issue we see is, and we'll get into this whenever we actually start spraying, is whenever you're spraying too far away from your workpiece. So if you're too far away from the workpiece, and we'll go over the correct distance and everything here in a bit, in the next video, or maybe the one after that. We'll go over it here shortly when we start painting guns. All right, so if you're too far away, what's happening is those paint particles are actually drying before they hit the workpiece, and that's gonna give you a really rough finish. So you bringing it in, you want to make sure your paint is still wet whenever it hits your workpiece. All right, so that's another big issue we see there. Spraying too close to the workpiece, obviously that's not a good thing. You're going to get way too much paint on there. It's going to start running. Nobody wants the runs, okay? Whether you're painting guns, you're eating at Taco Bell, that's a no-go. All right, and I should have an example here. This is one that was kind of a combination of not shaking well enough and spraying too close to the workpiece to kind of try to compensate. I don't know what was going on there, but it wasn't shaking well enough. The paint was coming out kind of weird. So the person painting this ended up getting closer to the workpiece to compensate for that and got overspray, but it was an overspray of not properly mixed paint, and it was just a terrible thing. So there's a few examples of those common issues, and I painted these. I know I'm kind of dogging on the person that painted them. It was me, and I'm glad I have these examples to show you here. So we're going to be painting things correctly. All right. Now there's a little bit more finesse. I know I'm giving you a lot of information up front, and you're like, man, I probably don't want to use AlumaHyde. You definitely do. I'm making it sound way scarier than it actually is. It's honestly super easy to apply once you get the hang of it, and it's extremely durable. So I've painted guns with Rattle cans. I've painted guns with AlumaHyde. I've used gun coat, Cerakote, all that stuff. Without buying a bunch of equipment, AlumaHyde II is definitely the way to go. And I'll show you a gun here. This is a gun that I built a few years ago for the tactical games, and I've used the heck out of this gun. All right, and this finish is still going strong. I mean, you can see a little bit of wear on it here and there, which is to be expected. I think you would see that with pretty much any finish. And there's some stuff on the brass deflector, but you can see, I mean, the results, the durability. It's just with a Rattle can, most of this finish would be gone because I've been running this gun pretty hard. All right, so in the next videos here, we're going to be going over how to do the prep work. So we're going to be going over how to prep aluminum, blued steel, stainless steel. We'll talk about polymer and even wood if you have a wood stock you want to paint or something like that. All right, so go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so you get notified when the next video drops. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.